Hello everyone, welcome to Gentle Yin Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. So have your usual many props for this class, the pillow, a blanket, or a beach towel, and a couple of yoga blocks, or 2 other pillows, as well as a strap, and we're gonna start with that today as we focus physically a bit on opening the neck and shoulders, as well as the hips. So let's begin in a supported version of Hero's pose. So if you try to sit this way with your calves underneath, your toes pointed back, if you feel like your knees are a bit not happy with it, you can grab a block or 2 or a pillow and actually place it just in front of your heels. And that can be comfortable, or you can separate your feet and place the block or a couple of blocks stacked right in between your ankles. Again, just make sure that your toes are pointing straight back. You're not turning out your feet, and that's to keep your knees safe. So feel free to prop yourself up as high as you need to let your knees feel comfortable in this position. And if you have knee issues of some kind and this is not at all comfortable, then you can always bring your legs in front. And we'll start with some movement here, just taking hold of your strap or a long t-shirt or a scarf, anything like that can work. And we'll right away connect movement to breath. So holding the strap with your hands apart, wider than your shoulders distance. If you know that your shoulders are feeling pretty creaky, go even generously wider apart. And then as you drop your shoulders slightly behind your ears and down, lift up through the center of your spine as you're pressing downward to your sitting bones, slightly firm in your belly so your front ribs are softening in. And on your next inhale, keep your arms straight and raise your arms overhead, holding the strap pretty taut. And as you exhale, reach the arms behind you and all the way down. Inhale, lift the arms up, keeping your shoulders away from your neck. And then as much as you can, your elbows staying straight. Exhale, arms forward and down. And so take that at your own pace of deepening your breath. Inhaling up and exhaling down. All the while trying to keep your arms straight and your shoulders relaxing down and away from your ears, as well as your spine long in the front and back. So your front ribs, rather than popping out when you lift your arms, they're sealing in towards the back of your body. And it may be helpful to tune into your breath by closing your eyes. See if you can slow the movement and the breath down even more, taking the entire length of the inhalation to raise your arms, and the entire length of the exhalation to lower your arms. And let's allow a few exhales out to your mouth. Breathing in to your nose. Let the breath take its time expanding into your belly, your lungs, the back of your torso, the sides and front of your torso. About 2 more cycles of breath. Perhaps you step your hands a little closer together on the strap if you feel like your shoulders have gotten warmer. And when you feel ready, just holding the strap now in only your right hand, raise your right arm up high so the strap is hanging behind you. And then use your left hand to help rotate the outer side of your right upper arm slightly forward. And then bring your right bent elbow behind your head. Walk your 2 shoulder blades down your back. Seal in your front ribs. And then bring your left hand behind you to grab the bottom end of the strap. Walk your hands as close together as you can, perhaps even clasping the fingers if they reach. And as you take a deep inhale, let your collarbones splay wider apart from sternum to shoulder heads, filling up your side ribs, your back ribs. And as you exhale, can you further slide your shoulder blades down while lifting up through the back of your skull? And we're going to stay here for about 10 deep breaths. And if you feel like it's available, you can start to coil your chest up slightly without overarching your lower back. So continue to direct your tailbone downward, slightly lifting your frontal hip bones. Really slow, deep breaths. So we've been talking this week about the 8th limb of yoga, which is samadhi, integration or absorption. It's becoming one with the object of meditation. It's this effortless state that comes organically. It's not something that we can practice to attain, like focusing. So through sustained periods of consistent meditation, this blissful state called samadhi arises, in which you don't even have to think about it, but you are in a state of unity consciousness, understanding that we're all connected. So just a few more breaths here. Meditation, and this is from Krishnamurti, meditation is one of the most extraordinary things, and if you do not know what it is, you are like the blind man in a world of bright color, shadows, and moving light. It is not an intellectual affair, but when the heart enters into the mind has quite a different quality. It is really then limitless, not only in its capacity to think, to act efficiently, but also in its sense of living in a vast space where you are part of everything. As you finish this breath, let the arms go. Just drop the strap for moments. And as you inhale, rotate your shoulder bones forward and up. Exhale your shoulders back and down. Couple more, inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Last time. And then take the strap in your left hand as I'm mirroring you here. Dangle it so the tail is behind you, and then use your right hand to help roll your left tricep, outer upper arm forward. Bring your left bent elbow behind your head. Reach back underneath with your right hand and grab the other end of the strap. Walking your hands as close together as you can, perhaps even clasping your fingers. And then take a moment as you take a deep breath to blossom your chest open. Exhaling, further slide your shoulder blades down your back ribs while lengthening up through the top of your head. See if you can let your left elbow point more upwards rather than out to the left. And then again, about 10 more deep breaths here. Krishnamurti, philosopher, meditation, spiritual teacher, has just an interesting way of describing the state of meditation. He also says, love is meditation. Love is not a remembrance, an image sustained by thought as pleasure, nor the romantic image which sensuality builds. It is something that lies beyond all the senses and beyond the economic and social pressures of life. The immediate realization of this love, which has no root in yesterday, is meditation. For love is truth, and meditation is the discovery of the beauty of this truth. Perhaps as you're holding this posture a little bit longer, you begin to coil your chest up. Be attentive to elongating your tailbone down so it doesn't start to tilt further back behind you, requiring a little bit of firming in your lower abdomen and slightly lifting up your frontal hip bones. And if you haven't already started, I invite you to just breathe through your nose, if that's available for you right now. So with the mouth closed, Now sustaining your breath in and out through your nostrils. Inviting some warmth into your body. With this exhalation, relax both arms, release the strap, and then let's rotate the shoulders in the opposite direction. As you inhale, draw your shoulder heads behind you and then up. As you exhale, round them forward and then down. Nice and slow, breathe in and breathe out. Last time. Nice, so let's put the block aside. Find a way to sit for a short pranayama practice, a simple box breathing or samavriti pranayama. Continuing to breathe just through your nose if you're able to do that. Sitting up tall, rounded, relaxing your shoulders, anywhere you want to place your hands so that you can focus on your breathing, and maybe even close your eyes if that helps. So in box breathing, we inhale for a count of 4, hold the breath in for a count of 4, exhale a count of 4, and hold the breath out a count of 4. It's wonderful practice, especially in moments of stress and anxiety. So if you find that happening throughout your day, take a moment and perhaps practice this, Samavriti Pranayama. All right, so empty this breath, hold it out, slowly inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, hold in 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold out 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1. One more cycle on your count. And when you finish holding your breath out, just relax into a natural breath for a moment to simply observe anything you feel. Setting an intention or a personal prayer or dedication for your practice. And if you don't have a particular one in mind, how about openness? Openness of mind, openness of body, openness of breath, openness of being. Joining your palms to meet at your heart, let's join our voices, feeling the resonance, the vibration of sound in 3 chants of Om. Take a deep breath. Inhaling deeply, exhaling equally in length. Perhaps also cultivating a soft whispering sound by gently narrowing the back of your throat, easing into Ujjayi Pranayama, a warming, calming breath technique. And with that, let your hands rest down. Begin to drop your chin to the center of your chest. And your next inhale, circling your head to the left, very slowly tilting your chin up towards the sky. Exhale, your head to the right, slowly dropping your chin towards your sternum. And just like that, take your time. You can even go slower or pause if you find any areas of tension in your neck that you just need to pause and breathe into. When you finish this last circle, switch directions, inhaling halfway through the circle, and perhaps exhaling halfway through the circle. And once you finish with that, we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So you may want to grab blocks to place your hands on and just place them in front of you. Come to stand first upright with your feet wider than hips distance apart, generously wide. Parallel your feet, spread your toes, and you can bend your knees any amount here because as we fold, you want to feel like you have a flat back. Bring your hands behind your back for a moment, interlacing your fingers or holding a strap between your hands. As you take a deep in breath, lift your chest, look up, drop your shoulders back, and then exhaling, begin to bow from your hips with that feeling of a flat back. So again, bend your knees any amount to feel that, and shift your weight towards the front of your heels. Let your head completely drop as you stretch your arms forward with the hands still together. Breath by breath here. Explore any movement of your skull to help loosen your neck, shaking your head no a few times, nodding your head yes a few times. You've been upright most of the day, sitting or walking or just being upright. This can feel like a nice reboot, going upside down in a forward fold. Deep breaths here. If your jaw needs some loosening, try a few rounds of fluttering your lips as you breathe out. You might even explore any shift in sensation by switching the cross of your thumb and index finger on top. And now as you continue to stretch your arms away from your back, also lift your shoulders up away from your neck. Maybe even begin to sway your spine towards one leg that you might straighten a bit, and then towards the other leg, alternating, bending the opposite knee more. Perhaps even dropping your arms, placing your hands on blocks or the floor, or catching hold of opposite elbows where you can just swing the spine a bit more. Perhaps a little bit of a twist as you swing the spine. Breathing in, breathing out. And you lean a little more forward, and now plant your fingertips on the floor or on blocks, inhaling as you rise halfway up. And exhaling as you fold again. 2 more times really slow. Inhale, press with your hands and lift your chest forward through the gates of your arms. And then exhale, belly firms in slightly as you bow even deeper. One more time, keeping that feeling of a flat back. Inhale, lift your spine and lengthen your crown forward. The shoulders draw back. Exhale, fold again. Now bend your knees. Inhale, swing your torso and arms softly to the left, rising all the way up as you create a circle laterally. Bend your knees and exhale, reach to your right, all the way down towards your right leg. Swing back to center. Inhale, up to the left, a windmill. Exhale, bend your knees down to the right. Now let's switch directions. Inhale, sweep your arms to the right, lifting your spine slowly. Feel that lateral stretch along the sideways as you come up, and as you come down, exhale. One more time. Inhale, up the right, and exhale, down the left. And as you come down, walk yourself onto all fours, your hands and your knees, for a few rounds of cat-cow. So set your wrists a couple inches in front of your shoulders with your knees directly under your hips. If you'd like to give your inner wrists a stretch, you could spin out your hands so that your fingertips turn out to face the sides or rear edge of your mat. On your next inhalation, draw your chest forward and peel your shoulders back. Look up towards the sun or the moon. And as you exhale, lifting your belly into your back, drop your head, bowing towards the earth. A few more at your own pace of breath, nice and slow, breathing in as you open your chest up, tailbone lifts too. Breathing out as you lift the belly in, doming your back. Several more cycles of cat-cow or Betalasana. On an exhale, relax to a neutral spine. Plant your fingertips to face forward, whether you place your hands on the ground or on blocks. Let's step the right foot forward just to the outside of your right hand, coming into a kneeling lizard lunge. And then right here, again, hands on the floor or on blocks. Flexing your right foot, begin to splay open your right thigh. Gently scissor your right outer hip towards the rear of your mat. When taking deep breaths, broaden your chest forward towards the front of your mat. And perhaps even come down onto your forearms, whether they're on the ground or on blocks. You might explore a little bit of swaying left and right of your pelvis. Just gentle, soft, fluid movements. Breathing in, breathing out, sort of like a gentle rocking of a boat. Whether your object of focus is the sensation of your in and out breath, or the object is something you're gazing at, a candle that might be in front of you, or a speck of lint on the ground that you can just steady your eyes to focus on. Can you steady your curious attention on that object? Not a forced attention holding, but a softened attention. Just like how we hold yoga poses, there's a balance of exerting some effort as well as letting there be ease, bringing strength and grace into the posture as well as the focus. As we stay for just 3 breaths more in lizard lunge, make sure that you're still flexing your right foot. You're not collapsed onto the outer ankle, but you're just leaning on the pinky toe outer edge. Taking your time, begin to walk your hands closer to your pelvis so that you can lift your torso and step your right knee back into your hands and knees. And then once here, tuck your right toes behind you, same leg, straighten your right leg on the floor, and just gently rock forward, rock back. Again, just like a subtle rocking of a boat that's actually tied to shore. Just a gentle moving in and out of a calf stretch. And then from there, tap the top of your right foot on the floor as you lower your right knee. Just get some blood flow into that foot as well. And then when you're ready, step your left foot forward to the outside of your left hand, second side of lizard lunge. And notice how this side of your hips feels. You might need to have your hands higher if it's feeling quite restrictive. You might need to lower your hands or lower onto your forearms to feel something happening. So tuning in, letting the sensations of your own body guide you to the depth to explore. And then flexing your left foot, help to stabilize your left knee while splaying open your left thigh, just enough so that you're leaning on the knife outer edge, the pinky toe side of your left foot. Remember, not collapsing onto the outer ankle. And then softly scissor your left outer hip back, contrasted by extending your sternum forward and relaxing your shoulders down your back. Now again, recall your chosen object of focus, whether it be your breath, a visual focus, or it could even be a mantra that you've created for yourself to repeat mentally. Maybe a positive affirmation. And if you find it soothing, as I have here, you could gently rock your pelvis left and right as you remain in this pose. Notice the quality of your presence, of your attention to your object of focus. Like the asanas, the physical postures of yoga, we similarly cultivate steadiness and ease of the mind. helpful qualities to enter a state of meditation. Last 3 breaths here on this side of Lizard Lunge. And as you're ready, walking your hands closer to your pelvis, gently lift your torso more upright so that you can step your left knee behind you back to hands and knees. And then once there, tuck your left toes on the floor, straightening your left leg. And gently rock forward and back, moving in and out of a gentle calf stretch. Keep a slight lift of your belly here so it's not just completely relaxed, which can cause tension in your lower back. Then lower your left knee again and tap the top of your left foot on the floor. Just a bit of stimulation of blood flow into the foot. Let's come on down, lowering your chin to the earth. I'm gonna move these props aside. You may want to have a pillow, block, or blanket near the front edge of your mat that you can reach for, just in case. And then come all the way down to your belly. Prepare to open up the inner shoulders, the front of the shoulders a bit more. So that pillow or prop can be just off to the right of your right ear. As you slide your right arm straight open to the right with a palm face down, about leveled with your right shoulder. Begin to press the floor away with your left palm right beside your left shoulder so that you can slowly roll over onto your right hip, placing the right side of your head on top of that prop. If you need something to elevate your head on, otherwise you can remove the prop and just rest your head on the floor. And now just take your time exploring how much weight is necessary for you to lean back. You might already feel sufficient sensation in that front of your right shoulder here. Or that sensation might change and you may need to lean a little more weight later. And you observe the spaciousness along the right side of your neck by letting your right shoulder bone draw down away from your ear towards your right waist. We'll be here for quite a few breaths, so you might explore, if you're needing more weight to feel sensation in your shoulder, stepping your left foot behind you, bending your left knee up towards the sky. You might also explore wrapping your left arm behind you. You may even meet your right hand. Come back to your chosen object of focus, your breath, a gazing point, a particular sensation that you just give space to be felt. Perhaps even notice if that sensation changes in some way. But all the while, whatever your object of focus, can you maintain a non-judgment attitude towards it, especially sensations. Another option in this pose, if you're needing more sensation in the right shoulder, is if you are bending your left knee, also bending your right knee and stepping both soles of your feet onto the ground. Let's take another 7 slow breaths here on this side. Very slowly begin to unravel onto your belly to lie face down. Just pausing there at center for just a couple of breaths. Now, if you'll use a prop for your head on side 2, slide your prop just to the left of your skull here. Plant your right hand on the floor outside of your right shoulder. Slide your left arm straight out to the left. Then begin to roll over onto your left hip. Then just take a moment to make sure you're giving the left side of your neck sufficient space by drawing your left shoulder blade further down your back ribs, away from your neck. And pay attention, is there's something different needed on this side right now? Do you need to spend a little more time breathing into some sensation? Or not? So at your own rate, feeling into just the amount of weight to lean back. And see if you could perhaps move into a similar variation as you did on the first side, while honoring the intensity or depth that might be different here. Coming back to your object of focus. Each time you find your attention wander astray, as you have probably gathered by now, moving through these past 16 weeks, as we've explored the 8 limbs of yoga. But the physical practice, these postures, are merely one of the 8 limbs. And it's through the integration of all of the limbs that we allow ourselves to be open to receive that eighth limb, that state of samadhi, whenever it may come. Let's feel into about 5 more deep breaths here. And at your own pace of breath, when you're ready, take your time to gently unravel back to center, lying face down on your belly. Just pausing there for a few breaths, tuning in. And with your hands alongside your shoulders, begin to press up onto hands and knees, all fours. And just slowly swaying the pelvis side to side. You can even pause on one side, perhaps feeling a outer hip and glute sensations. Let's go a little further into the outer hips, sliding your legs forward to sit. Extending your left leg forward, take your right thigh and cross it over your left thigh as close together as you can. And now you can choose to either keep your bottom leg straight and flex the foot, or you could bend the bottom knee, splay the feet apart. Just make sure that you allow your 2 sitting bones to evenly round, so your spine is centered comfortably. And then we'll take the arms into eagle pose. So bend your elbows apart, and with your right leg on top, cross your left elbow over the right. And you can either give yourself a tight hug, just like your legs are doing, or you could hook your thumbs, or you could wrap your forearms in palms. See what's most feasible here is you broaden the shoulder blades apart into protraction, as well as slide the shoulder blades down away from your neck in depression. Now, if you're taking any of the latter 2 variations of your arms, lift your elbows to the height of your shoulders as your shoulders rest away from your ears, and gently press your forearms forward away from your face. Sitting up a little taller by pressing downward to your pelvis. Let's visualize breathing up and down the spine. So as you inhale, the breath begins at the base or bottom of your spine and slowly fills up the space between each vertebra, arriving at the crown. And as you exhale, you can visualize the breath moving down from the top of your head, slowly throughout your spine. As you do that, maybe even explore forward fold, keeping your sitting bones rooted. Allow about 5 more breaths here. If you're bowing forward, firm your belly a bit to help you rise slowly on an inhale. Backstroking your arms, uncross your legs. Shake it out or move it out any way you like. And then let's take the left thigh over the right. Hug the thighs closely. You can keep the bottom leg straight, flexing the foot, or bend the bottom knee, splay the feet wider apart. Rounding your two sitting bones. Bend your elbows apart. And then this time cross your right elbow over the left. Hugging yourself tightly, hooking your thumbs, or wrapping your forearms and palms. And if the latter two versions, drawing your shoulders down, lift your elbows to the height of them while pressing your forearms forward away from your face. You might visualize breathing in from the tailbone up to your crown. And breathing out from the crown down to your tailbone. Several more breaths, whether you choose to stay upright or begin to hinge from your hips slowly. So this is a hybrid posture. Your legs are in Gomukhasana or cow face pose. And your arms are in Garudasana or eagle pose. Can you feel the energy of this shape in your body? As we know that gestures can express how we're feeling when we're talking, but we can also affect how we're feeling through our gestures or physical postures. So how is this physical posture affecting the way you feel right now? Taking the time to observe for 5 more breaths here. And when you're ready, if you're bowing forward, slightly firmen your belly to help you rise on an in-breath. And once again, backstroke your arms apart, uncross your legs. Let's make our way down to our backs. Lying down with your knees bent. Separate your feet apart, wider than your hips distance. Separate your knees as wide apart as your feet. With your arms perhaps out to the side so they're out of the way of your legs, drop your knees both to your right side. So your legs are not touching each other in this kind of twist, but can you align your left knee to trace the midline of your mat? It might require sliding your left foot even past the left edge of your mat or closer to your left hip. And then notice any sensation that might arise here in the left side of your pelvis, lower back and hip. If you feel like exploring more or other sensations, you can cross your right ankle over your left knee on top of your left thigh. Just adding the natural weight of your right leg to encourage the front of your left thigh to lengthen forward. Notice what sensations might come up here or change or stay the same. No right or wrong, no bad or good. Just observing and noticing any adjustments you might lovingly make for your body. You might also explore raising your arms overhead bending your elbows and catching hold of opposite elbows with your hands, keeping your shoulders relaxed down for just about 5 more breaths. And when you are ready to, slowly lifting your knees, uncrossing your legs if they were crossed, and uncrossing your arms. Set your 2 feet apart again, slightly wider than hips distance. Separate your knees just as wide apart as your feet. And then gently drop both knees to your left side so your legs are not touching each other. Align your right knee down the center of your mat. Notice what you feel here in your body, especially around your right hip and lower back. You might explore crossing your left ankle just above your right knee on top of your right thigh. And you might also add switching the cross of your elbows overhead, holding them with your hands. As you hold space for whatever sensations to pass through or stay a little longer, soften your attention back to an object of focus for 5 more breaths. And without rushing, at your own pace of breath, when you're ready, uncross your legs. Draw your 2 bent knees into your chest. Hug your knees in. Drop your tailbone onto the floor. And keep your head and shoulders on the ground. Exhaling. See if you can hug your thighs even closer to your belly. Keeping the back of your spine pressing against the floor. Slightly tilt your chin towards your chest. Hugging your knees in even closer. Just 3 more breaths. Maybe switch the cross of your arms. Now I invite you for just 1 last minute, unless you choose to come into a supported version that you can stay in for Shavasana, to choose a cooling in version that's lifting your legs up higher than your heart. So if you have a wall or a piece of furniture that you could just lean your legs on comfortably, you might even stay there if that is comfortable enough for Shavasana. Otherwise, you could do what I'm doing, just lifting the legs straight up. Try to choose a posture that's most relaxed. You're hardly or not at all exerting effort in it. And then again, in whatever posture you're in, settle into an object of focus. And if you're not in a posture for Shavasana just yet, please begin to very lovingly place your body into that corpse pose, using any props like a pillow under the backs of your knees to support your lower back, or a blanket weighted over your pelvis and belly, maybe an eye covering. Remember that even after this class, should you choose to stay longer in meditation or Shavasana, feel free. This is your practice. So settling in, close your eyes. Allow your body to sweetly surrender all effort here, even breath. Let it be free. A few last words from Krishnamurti. All our life is based on thought which is measurable. It measures God, it measures its relationship with another through the image. It tries to improve itself according to what it thinks it should be. So unnecessarily we live in a world of measurement, and with that world we want to enter into a world in which there is no measurement at all. Meditation is the seeing of what is and going beyond it, seeing the measure and going beyond the measure. For those of you that would like to sit for a short breath work, which will be included as part of a meditation, into meditation, a total of 5 minutes. Please begin to gently release your body out of corpse pose with some subtle movements, graduating into simple stretches in your own way, and maybe even keeping your eyes closed as you make the transition to a comfortable seat. Allow a moment as you find that comfortable seat to arrange your body, any last moment adjustments, so that you can fully be attentive to your object of focus. And today, I invite you to choose your object of focus. All through last week, we chose sensation, a sound, visual, gazing meditation, your breath, a personal mantra. So what is your chosen object of focus for your meditation? And it was simply just breathe together before we drop completely into that. Setting your hands in a position to help you focus. Allow your inhale to gently fill up your entire torso from bottom up. And as you exhale, feel a sense of settling deeper into stillness. Settling with softened, steady attention. Greater inhales. And long exhales, arriving here. An intimate date with your object of focus. Allowing one last controlled exhalation, which transports you even deeper into a state of focus and relaxation. Know that you can't do this wrong. You're already doing it. Meditation. It's a personal choice, a freedom of choice to come back each time your attention wanders. And you allow it to be a joyous coming back, not an obligatory or forceful coming back. Bring the attitude of friendliness to yourself. you're going to end meditation, remember you can stay longer if you like. And just bring your palms to meet at your heart, bowing in, thanking yourself for the effort you put into being here. Let's close with one chant of Om. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.